Being a gamer was my escape, my refuge from the reality of being invisible at school. I was Ezekiel, the kid who sat at the back of the class, lost in the virtual worlds that felt more real than the hallways I walked every day. I wasn't popular. Far from it. Most days, I felt like a ghost, drifting through school unnoticed, except by the few who knew me as that kid who's always gaming. High school was a place where I blended into the background, just another face in the crowd. I wasn't on the sports teams, I didn't have a huge group of friends, and I definitely wasn't the guy people talked about at parties. But in my room, with a controller in my hand, I was someone else entirely. In those games, I was a hero, a leader, a legend. But that was where it stayed, on the screen. One night, while scrolling through online forums, I stumbled upon something different. I wasn't looking for it. I was just killing time. The thread was about shifting, a concept where people claimed they could change their reality through sheer willpower and belief. It sounded crazy, like something out of a science fiction game, but the more I read, the more intrigued I became. There were posts about people using different methods to shift into their dream lives, and some even mentioned shifting into a version of themselves that was popular, successful, and confident. The idea stuck with me. Could I really change my life that drastically? Could I go from being the guy no one noticed to someone who actually mattered? I wasn't sure, but something inside me said it was worth a shot. I was tired of being overlooked, tired of watching life happen around me while I remained on the sidelines. The posts mentioned different techniques: scripting, visualization, feeling the wish fulfilled, just like in a game where you could customize your character. Only this time, I was the character. I decided to try it, starting small. I wrote down what I wanted: confidence, popularity, and recognition for my talents. I visualized what it would feel like to walk down the school hallway and have people know who I was, to be invited to hang out, to be someone people actually wanted to talk to. At first, it felt silly, like I was just daydreaming, but I kept at it. Every night before bed, I'd go through the process, focusing on the feelings as if they were already real. I pictured myself acing a presentation in class, being complimented on my gaming skills, and even imagined being asked to join a group project because people respected my ideas. It was like leveling up in a game, each night adding another layer to the person I wanted to become. Weeks went by, and something started to change. It wasn't immediate, but I noticed little things at first. My posture improved. I wasn't slouching as much. I started speaking up in class, not caring so much about what others thought. My confidence grew, and with it, so did my visibility. Teachers started calling on me more, and I found myself actually enjoying the attention. I wasn't just the quiet gamer in the back. I had ideas, opinions, and people were starting to notice. Then, one day, everything shifted. It was during a history class, of all places. We were assigned a group project, and instead of dreading it, I decided to take charge. I suggested we create a video presentation, something that combined my gaming skills with the project requirements. The idea was a hit, and my group was all in. I spent hours working on the project, pouring my heart into it. When we presented it to the class, the response was overwhelming. Everyone loved it. The teacher, my classmates, even the kids who usually ignored me. It was like something clicked in that moment. I wasn't just Ezekiel the gamer. I was Ezekiel, the guy who could make things happen. Word spread fast. People started asking me for help with their projects, wanting to collaborate, and even inviting me to hang out after school. I went from being the guy who spent all his time alone to someone with a full social calendar. The more I embraced this new version of myself, the more everything around me seemed to change. Teachers praised my work, classmates respected my opinions, and even the popular kids started to notice me. It felt surreal, like I was living in a different reality, a reality I had created. I thought back to those nights, lying in bed, visualizing this life, and it hit me. I had shifted. I had taken control of my narrative, just like in a game where I was the protagonist, and now I was living it. The biggest surprise came when I was invited to join the school's esports team. They had heard about my skills and wanted me to compete. It was everything I had ever wanted. To be recognized for something I was passionate about, to be part of a team, competing in tournaments, representing my school. It was a dream come true. My life had transformed in a way I never thought possible. I was no longer invisible. I was Ezekiel, the guy who was making waves in both the classroom and the gaming world. It wasn't just about being popular. It was about being seen, being valued, and knowing that I had the power to change my reality. Looking back, I realized that the biggest shift wasn't just in how others saw me, but in how I saw myself. I had unlocked a new level, one where I was confident, capable, and in control of my destiny. And just like in any good game, I knew there were more levels to conquer, more challenges to face, but now I had the tools to do it. The world was my game, and I was finally playing to win. My fame in school continued to grow. The esports team became a hub of activity, and we started winning local tournaments. Our victories brought the school more attention, and with it, my reputation soared. I was no longer just known for my gaming skills. People saw me as a leader, someone who could strategize and bring people together. Socially, everything changed. I was invited to parties, and not just as a tag-along, but as someone people actually wanted there. I was no longer sitting in the back of the class, blending into the background. I was in the center, part of the conversations, part of the life that buzzed around me. I made friends with people I never thought would notice me. Even the so-called popular kids started to include me in their circles. It was a strange feeling at first, like stepping into a different world. But the more I engaged, the more natural it felt. I began to realize that being popular wasn't just about being noticed. It was about being someone others wanted to be around, someone who could contribute something valuable. And I had a lot to offer. My love for gaming had given me skills in strategy, teamwork, and leadership that were now translating into real-world success. There were challenges, of course. Balancing my newfound social life with my academic responsibilities and my gaming commitments wasn't always easy. But the same determination that had driven me to shift my reality now helped me manage my time and stay focused. I learned to prioritize, to say no when I needed to, and to make the most of every opportunity. One of the most significant moments came during a school assembly. The principal announced that the school would be hosting its first ever esports tournament, with teams from other schools invited to compete. And guess who was asked to lead the organization and promotion of the event? Me. It was a massive responsibility, but I was excited. This was my chance to make a lasting impact, to create something that would be remembered. I threw myself into the project, rallying the team, coordinating with other schools, and even securing sponsorships. The tournament was a huge success, and it solidified my status as not just a gamer, but a leader. My parents noticed the changes too. They saw how much happier and more confident I was. We had always been close, but now our relationship grew even stronger. They supported my ambitions and were proud of my achievements. It was a stark contrast to the lonely, quiet boy I had been before. As the months passed, I kept working on myself. Shifting wasn't a one-time thing. It was a continuous process of growth and self-improvement. I set new goals, both academically and personally, and worked towards them with the same determination that had changed my life in the first place. By the end of the school year, I looked back on my journey with a sense of pride and accomplishment. I had transformed from a shy, invisible gamer into a confident, respected leader. I had friends who valued me, teachers who believed in me, and a future that looked bright and full of possibilities. The biggest lesson I learned was that we all have the power to change our reality. It takes belief, effort, and persistence, but it's possible, and it starts with a single decision: to believe in yourself and your ability to create the life you want. As I walked across the stage to receive my diploma, I felt a surge of gratitude for the lessons I had learned, for the people who had supported me, and for the journey that had brought me here. I was ready for whatever came next, confident in my ability to face any challenge and create my own path. In that moment, I knew that my story was just beginning. I had shifted into a new reality, one where I was the hero of my own life, and I couldn't wait to see what adventures awaited me next.